Hello! Welcome to Pint of a Story with me, Shobit. In this podcast, we bring you pint-sized stories from indie authors such as myself that you are likely not to have read before. Links to where the stories live on the internet will be in the show notes or description, and we do encourage you to click on them and read the stories for yourself. Hope you enjoyed today's story, and if you do, please share it around and subscribe if you like. Tales of grandeur, immoral and pure, greed and secrets, passion and glory. The pulse is rising, the plot's surprising. You captivated, that's the point of the story. That really is the point of a story, and this week's story is called The Little House, written by yours truly, and first published in October 2016 on shobitdebral.com. Your feedback or comments really matter, so please leave some. Hope you like this one. Here goes. Why is it so cheap again? He asked over the phone. I mean, what she's charging will hardly leave her anything after electricity, etc., right? How is she making money? She's not, his friend replied. She's just looking for good company. It is, after all, in the middle of nowhere. She doesn't get many visitors, and that's why I stay with her. It is the perfect place for you to sort out your story. Okay, I will leave the day after tomorrow, he said. Mail me directions, please. 2 days later, as he was driving downhill on the final leg of his journey, he realized it was the perfect place for some insightful thinking, just as his friend had suggested. He had left the nearest town a half hour back, where he had picked up grocery, as directed, and could finally see the cottage at the foothill. It was beautiful. Although it was small, it had a tiny but exquisite garden and a little garage. As he neared the place, he realized that the building, despite not being in very good shape, had a sort of heritage charm to it. When he drove in, he was greeted by the old lady standing at the door front. She told me you were a handsome young man, she said with a smile. Welcome to my humble abode. Did you pick up some grocery? I did, he said. Good. That town uphill is where you must go for every little thing, save whatever I can manage in my small kitchen garden. It can be a pain for someone looking to get away in peace. We can cook together, or you could cook for yourself if you prefer. Together sounds more fun, he said. I could learn a thing or two. I am not very good at cooking. She smiled. 7 days, right? Yes, give or take, unless you're having someone else at the end of 7 days, in which case I can vacate even if I'm not done. There's no one coming, she said with a smile. Stay as long as you want. She left him to himself mostly, knowing that he was there to finish up a book he was writing. Never even asked about it. But they would chat around tea or while cooking or having meals together. By the third day, he was comfortable enough to ask her if she had children and whether they visited. Never got married, she said. Never could find the time. This was supposed to be our home after we got married, but we could never get to it. The rebellion took priority at the time. Both of us wanted the country to be free. By the time the country got freedom, he had found his with a bullet to his heart. In the following days, he learned about her past and how she built the house that they had hoped to build together as a tribute to their sacrifices and her devotion to her love. Hers was a story so inspiring, he forgot about the one he had come to write. Some people and a few shopkeepers in the town over the hill knew her, but nobody remembered her story anymore. She had only enough money to get by, and the house, her homage to her one true love and their sacrifices, wasn't getting the upkeep it needed. Yet she desired nothing. She was making no money out of the few people that chose to stay with her in this little piece of paradise. Her story needed to be told, and with her permission, he began writing it. He stayed on for 2 more weeks after his planned stay before returning to the city and working on the book he wrote on her. Within the year, the book was published and got immense praise from all corners. He had made a mark in the literary industry and went on to complete the story he had previously intended to write. The little cottage got its due, and people noticed. The lady would now have enough money to take care of it and live a happy life, he thought. He went on to write a few bestsellers and was happy he had decided to go to the cottage when he did. More than 5 years later, he was to deliver a speech at a university close to the town atop the hill. He made it a point to set aside time to go to the town and pay the lady a visit. The townsfolk recognized him instantly from his picture on the book cover, the book that had sold like hot cake in that town. He told people he met that he was on his way to see the lady. "But she's no more," said an elderly person, surprised he didn't already know. It was a shock to him. He hadn't been in touch, though he had meant to get to it every day of his busy life. "When?" he asked, eyes swelling up with tears of regret. "Soon after your book started selling here," he replied. "What happened?" "The doctor said it was her heart," he replied. "Anxiety, I think. She was not used to so many people hounding her all the time, some said." Tears rolled down his face. "Is there any way I can go and see the house?" He wanted to pay a visit to the memorial she had made for her love. "You can check in if you like," he replied. "Stay for a few days. They usually have rooms at this time of the year since they built the new wing last summer. It is a big resort now, you know." So, we hope you liked that story enough to tempt you to subscribe. We encourage you to share it with anyone else you can think of that would like to hear our stories as well. But do not forget, it is the writers that make the stories, so please read them for yourself by clicking the link in the description. That'll mean the world to us. Thank you for your time, and we hope to see you with our next. In the meantime, remember, if you can't find what you're looking for, create it. Take care.